Warning! Warning! This podcast is not for the easily offended. We are two guys that think everything and anything can or is a joke.
There is no limits to what our minds may come up with. But understand, these thoughts are all in the nature of comedy, and nothing said here should be taken as gospel. Neither of us are Jesus.
Our testosterone is just too damn high, man.
Fuck yeah, brother!
Anyway, welcome to the show. Prepare to witness a hurricane of humor and thunderous thoughts as we take conversations on a whirlwind to the limits. Hell yeah, brother.
I don't care about humor. Sam, without humor, there's only Hitler.
Do you think that Tarzan was a virgin whenever he met Jane, or was he clapping monkey ass before that?
AIDS. My last name may be Todd, but I'm no retard.
Whoa.
You look like a guy that only watches Simpsons porn. You're a fucking homosexual.
You're the homie Sean Connery, dude. You
Dude,
nothing wrong.
from his grave. Give me a Ouija board. Let's talk about bitches, Sean. Hanging out with me is like a ride on the Titanic. You didn't expect it, but you're getting wet. If I'm in Bangkok and get fooled, but I don't hate it, am I bisexual?
What if I texted you something like, Daddy, I'll throw it back on you?
If you ever text me the words daddy, I will block you. Of course the conspiracies about the Jews are real, because their Holy Land is called
Israel.
and treated like a Twizzler and twist her up in Naked Twister.
What you're gonna do is you're gonna go to clapcleats.com. Promo code Hurricane of Thoughts. That's Thoughts, THOTS. What's good? Hurricane homies.
It's your boy. It's the Juggernaut Jester.
It's me.
So, like I said last week, to start every podcast, I'm going to be telling a throwback story of my childhood that I might be thinking about working on for stand-up or something. But I don't really know where to go with the story, so I'm just going to tell you the story. All right? So, when I was 16, I started working at a truck stop. This truck stop no longer exists for multiple reasons. It was raided by the feds. It had an illegal gambling operation. It had an illegal massage parlor operation. It had a kilo of cocaine in the safe. A whole bunch of issues going on with this place that no longer exists. But I worked there when it did exist. Okay, so now, I would say I'm 16. It is my first job. It's my second week, and I'm working at the Subway inside of the truck stop. Okay? So I'm working at the Subway, and I'm learning how to fucking put sandwiches together. Yeah, I'm a fucking sandwich artist. Bang, 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 bang. I was fucking flinging pepperonis like this, like I was dealing cards. Like, that's what I would do. Like, I was 16, I didn't give a fuck. I was like, I'm not gonna work at Subway forever. So I'd take a step back, and I'd start throwing the pepperoni onto the sandwich like I was dealing cards. So it's like my second week. You know, I'm 16 years old. And the person who's training me, she was older. And she wanted to go outside and, you know, smoke. You know what I mean? Whatever you want to take that as. She went outside to smoke. So she needed a few minutes because she had to roll it. Okay? So I'm standing there by myself, you know, 16 years old. And this guy walks up to me. Like, remember, we're at a truck stop. So this guy walks up to me. And he taps me on the shoulder and he goes, hey, yeah, man, you just need to go look in the bathroom. I'm 16 years old, so, like, my thought is, like, school brain. I'm like, dude, somebody wrote something in shit on the wall, bro. I've seen these truck drivers, dude. They're gross, dude. I just know somebody wrote, like, a swastika or something out of shit, right? So I'm just walking in the bathroom expecting to see, like, shit on the wall, right? I turn the corner, and there's a guy underneath the sink with his pants around his ankles, a needle in his arm, and he's beating off. Okay? Newsflash, wasn't ready for that. So I immediately go, oh shit. I walk out, I go outside, I'm like, yo, JC, we gotta call somebody. So she calls cops, and like it's a small ass town, so the cops were right down the road. They were there in 5 minutes, right? So nobody's been in the bathroom since. We actually had me telling people not to go in the bathroom, okay? This cop shows up. This guy looks like he's 2 months older than me, right? Looks like it's his first day on the job, okay? And this is where it gets funny, okay? So I'm like, dude, this cop's gonna go in there and just wrangle this dude up, fucking put him in a full Nelson, hit him with the people's elbow, just take this flagrant motherfucker out of here, right? You know? But no, this is what happens. We tried to tell the cop. We were like, yeah, dude, this dude's like under the sink, like beaten off. He's got a needle in his arm. And the guy's like, yeah. Turns the corner, and I swear to God, this is the kid's reaction. He goes, hey. Puts his hand on his gun like this. He goes, hey. Drop the penis. Sir, drop your penis. Stop. Drop it now. And at this point, I'm 16 years old. I'm surrounded by everybody that's taking this super serious, and my man's is yelling, drop the penis. I laughed and walked away. I don't know what happened after that. All I know is it took about 15 minutes. 2 more cops showed up, and they drugged that man out of there with his pants up. Now, who pulled the pants up? I don't know. Who took the needle out of his arm? I don't know. Did he finish? I don't know. But all I know is, eventually, he dropped the penis. Newsflash, it was Robin Williams. Who was Robin Williams? I don't understand. Who was Robin Williams, dude? Oh, Jared with the sub. He dropped the dick. No, it was the funny part is that it's a man cop saying penis. Like he was being politically correct to a dude who was under a sink at a truck stop beating off with a needle still in his arm. Now, I don't know if any of you caught on to that, but there's a needle in your arm and you're doing this, bro. Oh, God. Oh, God. Dude, his muscles must have been tore up, bro. Dude, that's fucked, dude. But, dude, just to see a cop who's probably, like, you know, honestly, in that town, they probably were never in anything serious. Like, they were just busy harassing old ladies and shit. Like, literally, like, everybody knew them. Like, it was a small-ass town, right? So everybody knew the 3 cops that we had. Yeah, that's right, we had 3 cops. And everybody was like, dude, the one that's in charge is such a pussy, dude. He got made fun of in school, and he never made it off of junior varsity football. So then he started working out and taking steroids and became a police officer, and now he bullies old ladies. It's like, your daughter wouldn't date me in high school. Ticket! So, you know, I don't remember where I was going with this. Oh, yeah. So, do we want to hear more truck stop stories? What do we want to get into? So we can do another truck stop story. We could talk about a UFC legend wanting to prove biology. Hell yeah, more truck stop stories? Okay. More truck stop stories. All right. What's a good one? What's a good one? What's a good one? Okay, here's a good one. Okay, so me and my buddy Chad, we worked at the Subway in Sbarro when we were younger, and we worked like right next to each other. So the way the truck stop was set up was there was the fuel desk, there was a store area, and then there was all the food places. So there was like a food court at the mall, but a truck stop, okay? So me and Chad worked right across from each other. Like, I could throw breadsticks at him, he could throw breadsticks at me. Like, we were fucking around, right? So there was truck drivers that were super cool. So like I always said back in the day that truck drivers were either the coolest people on the planet or the biggest crybabies in the universe. Okay? So as an example, I once had a person come in and give me $100 because I made them laugh. And they were like, hey man, it's hard out there on the road. You know, you're hilarious. You know, gave me $100 and then sat down like didn't actually sit down, but set his food down where there's not even a table, but like his food would sit there on the ledge, and he stood there while I was working and talked to me for about 2 hours. Okay? Look, I talked to him about life, the whole shebang, right? An hour after that guy leaves, I'm playing on my little speaker in my pocket. I'm playing a Lil Wayne song, you know, No Ceilings. And this truck driver lady goes to walk by, and now mind you, she did not look at the food like she was about to order. She was walking by, and then she catches a whiff of Lil Wayne, you know. Yeah, you no ceilings, motherfucker, good morning. Dick in your mouth while you yawning, I'm gawning. God, where they gotta be. You know? So she hears that, and she goes, are you serious? I was gonna order food here until I heard that disrespectful music coming from back there. Is this not a professional establishment? I'm 16. I got irritated. I was like, ma'am, if hearing 10 seconds of a song ruins your day, you have the best life that I could possibly imagine. I'm 16 and homeless, so please shut up. I had to have a sit down with my manager for that. I'll bring it to your front door like you ordered beef. Cool, dude. So wait. Okay, so me and Chad are working, and there was this dude named Fitz, okay? And he would come in and he would bullshit with us all the time, and he would smoke the ganja with us, right? So he'd be like, he did a weekly trip from New York to California. Every week it was the same route. New York, California, New York, California. And this was right when they made weed legal in California. So he would come back and he'd have the good, okay? So it was the first time. Bro, I'm fucking a mile ahead in the conversation. What up, Neil? So actually what happened is when I messed up the thing is I've been listening to Rucka Rucka Ali recently, and he has a remix of the Wheezy thing, and he doesn't say bring it to your front door like you ordered beef. He's like, damn, why they gotta be mad about some comedy. Yeah. I almost said that, but then I stopped myself, and then I moved on with the conversation, looked down, saw it, and I was like, I knew what it was. I'm just not going back, dog. All right, but okay, so truck stop. Me and Chad know this dude named Fitz, right? He gives us his phone number. He hits us up all the time when he's coming through. It's the first time I ever smoked sour diesel. It's the first time in my life I smoked weed, and I was actually too high to function. Okay? It was phenomenal. Okay? And it was one of the first times I smoked real sour diesel, and it was one of the first time. It was like the first time I was ever so high I couldn't function. So then about a week goes by, we gave him a lot of money to go to California and get us a bunch of weed. Okay, so like a week and a half goes by, we don't hear from him. We're like, damn it, we got stiffed, bro. We got stiffed, dude. Stiffed by the stiff. Okay, so then one night, me and Chad, we are drunk as fuck at work. Drunk. And we're mad as hell that Fitz didn't bring us our weed. So Chad calls him, okay? And I was saying some crazy shit, right? And I said ninja. Okay, I said ninja. Okay, ninja. Okay, I did not know he was leaving a message, but I said, tell that ninja we want our money back. Okay, but I said ninja. Okay,
is he black?
He is.
Okay.
Okay. Now I did not know Chad was leaving a voicemail, so when I realized it, I panicked, even though I said ninja. But it was that panic was also on the voicemail. Okay. So the panic was also on the voicemail. So when Chad was like, "Hey yo, I'm that, you know, it's voicemail." I realized it was a voicemail. I was like, "Oh shit, no! I said ninja." So we hung up, and literally 15 minutes later, Fitz walks through the door. On some cosmic irony. So Fitz walks through the door, and the first thing Chad does goes, "Did you listen to that voicemail?" He's like, "No." Chad's like, "Don't listen to that voicemail." He's like, Why? What'd you say? And Chad threw me right under the bus. He's like, I didn't say anything. Okay, and I'm just standing there like, I said ninja, bro. I said ninja. Okay? He's like, well, I'll be the judge of that. Okay? So then he pulls out his phone. He starts listening to the message, right? Starts listening to the message. Here's the part where I'm like, tell that ninja we want our money. And he goes, motherfucker, you said, he goes, you did not say ninja. You said, and he's like making a whole scene in the little area of the food court of the truck stop. And I start to panic a little bit. I've never been confronted, okay? And I don't really have a lot of ground to stand on because I did say ninja, okay? And I'm like, no, it's a little bit different. I called you an Asian that wears a little black. Like, it's a little bit different. And he goes, nah, motherfucker. And then, like, I was like, dude, I'm sorry, man. Like, I didn't mean to offend you. Like, I didn't even know we were leaving a voicemail. And he goes, nah, it's cool. I call my kids ninjas.
There's most of them won't even, as long as you're not using it in, like, a hateful way. They might give you, like, an upset look for a second, but you're not gonna get like killed over it. So if you start saying all these ninjas and that, start doing stuff like that, then they might get mad.
All right, so we're doing nostalgia today, bro.
Yeah.
So I got a couple news stories I want to get to, and then we're gonna bust out the nostalgia talk.
Nostalgic for some new stories.
Yeah, dude. Remember the old days when there was new subjects to talk about and more new laughs to be had instead of the news only talking about trans, Trump, and fucking AI?
In Ukraine. They don't even talk about that as much anymore, though.
No, that's been replaced by AI.
Yeah.
Okay, so what do you know about Mountain Dew flavors?
Code Red's the only one that's like stuck around for the, I guess, Voltage too. That's been around since that.
And then Baja Blast.
Yeah, once they Taco Bell but that comes and goes. You can't always find that either.
Right, but it's a staple at Taco Bell still.
Yeah.
Okay? So now...
That's just Gatorade and Mountain Dew.
So, I found it. I was talking with somebody at work the other day, and I had a funny realization. So we were talking about grape sodas, okay? Mm-hmm. And I was arguing that Sunkist is the better of the grape sodas compared to Fanta, okay? I think Fanta's way too sweet and tastes more like grape Kool-Aid than a soda. Okay?
Yeah.
Okay? But that's neither here nor there. But we were talking about grape sodas, and I was like, oh, actually, my favorite is the Mountain Dew grape soda. And he's like, what's it called? And I started laughing. He's like, what's so funny? I was like, I didn't think about it till just now, but Mountain Dew's kind of racist. Their grape soda's called Pitch Black.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about Pitch Black.
Dude, come on, Mountain Dew. Pitch Black is your grape drink?
That didn't stick around long, did it?
No, it's out right now.
Is it back out?
Yeah, it won the contest.
Oh,
like,
gosh.
When I was a GM of Villa, they had the contest. So it was like 4 flavors were out, and Pitch Black was the one that won.
Yeah, years ago, right?
Yeah.
But it's not still out.
I mean, I can get it. I can go down to the gas station right now and get it.
Is it in the freezers down at your gas station? I never see Pitch Black anywhere.
Maybe it's a selective, like you go to a lot of Circle K's, maybe it's a Circle K exclusive. Because you know what's weird? It's like, I find it weird that, like, you would think that, like, drinks are universal, but you go to certain gas stations, like 7-Elevens don't carry Dr. Pepper. Yeah. They're, like, beefing with Dr. Pepper.
Or they'll carry, like, only, like, small bottles of Coke, and then they'll have, like, liters of Pepsi.
Yeah.
Stuff like that.
Or if you're, like, Get Go, they only sell the main ones, and then they sell their version of the sodas.
Yeah. Well, that's something like Walmart started with, like, Mountain Lightning or Mountain Thunder or whatever.
Dr. Pibb.
Dr. Thunder. That's what it
Dr.
was.
Thunder.
Mountain Lightning, Dr. Thunder, and then they had, like, a cola.
Great value, dude.
Yeah.
Remember, Aldi's had theirs, too.
Oh, yeah.
Aldi's had one.
And then RC Cola somehow still comes in last.
My favorite one is the one where, like, have you ever seen the overseas copies of American products?
Yeah,
where it'll look exactly like a Pepsi can, but it'll be Pepsi instead of Pepsi.
Yeah, but it still has the symbol.
Yeah. It's literally just Pepsi, but they took the P and flipped it like this, so it's a B.
Maybe.
So it's Pepsi.
Jim will like that. Maybe that's their way of trying to make the universal language. corporate brands. Everybody recognizes the Pepsi logo no matter where you are on the planet.
I was talking about this with Jim last week. I don't know if you were there yet, though, but I find it interesting that we talk about, like, me and Jim talk about Egypt on a different level. Like, if we think about the Younger Dryas impact thing and say there was an advanced civilization before that built the pyramids and the Sphinx 10,000 plus years ago, right?
And the sea people.
Okay.
All that random bullshit.
Right, okay? So if we think about that, they would have had to have been advanced, right? So think about their language. It's hieroglyphs. We laugh at it. We're like, oh, these fucking idiots drawing pictures and shit. Look at these young kids. Most of them talking emojis. So, like, we're literally working towards, like, not a Chinese, because they're not allowed to see our internet. But a European kid could text or message with an American kid and use emojis, and they would both understand the emojis better than some of the slang.
Yeah.
So, realistically, Egyptian people could have had a language written like ours and then moved towards hieroglyphs because it was more universal.
It's true. But still a question, why did they build everything out of stone?
Because it lasts, dude.
Yeah, but what utility do you get out of stone?
Well, it brings a good point. So that brings me to the guy that believes that, and he's proven it enough for me to be, I'm like, I want somebody to actually research this more. But he believes that the Egyptian pyramids were made of stone to hold and encase the chemical reactions because they were actually like industrial chemical plants. So he starts with the step pyramid was the first pyramid that the Egyptians are credited with making. And the step pyramid is literally, you put the methane, like you put the cow shit in the bottom one, and then each step has smaller and smaller. So the gas rises, it gets condensed, and then they light it all on fire. And then they have a thing at the top that releases it. And then they use that to make other things. Okay? So if you just take that and then you scale it up, if their first pyramid was used to make methane gas, why wouldn't the other pyramids have uses? But then they're like, no, the first step pyramid could have been used for methane, but we still say it was a pharaoh tomb, even though all the residue on the wall is burnt cow shit. Everything in this thing chemically says that it was used to make methane. And then they were like, but these other pyramids, they all hold pharaohs.
I'll give you that. That's impressive that they did something and they built a pyramid that they could, harness methane gas. But they could have also just been lighting it on fire on top and being like, look, we have a magical pyramid with a giant fireball on top of it.
Okay. So,
maybe that's where the all-seeing eye stems from. So the pyramid with a fireball on top, like the fucking Eye of Sauron.
Okay. So this is where it gets interesting. So he moves his way to the three pyramids of Giza. So then, well, not the three pyramids of Giza. So the Red Pyramid, which is the fourth largest pyramid behind the three pyramids of Giza. And the Red Pyramid he's had access to it, and he did a couple things that he wasn't supposed to do, so now his access is revoked. But he got the chemical analysis of it, and if you take the pyramid and you cut it and you look at the way it's designed, and then you take the chemical analysis that he got, and then you apply that to logic, you get that pyramid was made to make, I don't want to mess this up. So basically you take methane, ammonium nitrate? No, that sounds wrong.
It'd be like ammonia and nitrate mixed together.
Yeah, whatever this is it's the chemical that leads to the purification of gold. Okay? So now when you look at all these things, and we always wonder, why did they build it so small? Like, people can barely fit through here. Like, you have to literally crawl. So it's not made for people. It's made for gases and liquids. Okay? So he goes into the Red Pyramid and he takes pictures of all the staining on the wall. Okay?
Well, really,
They've said...
They weren't made for people, though. They were made to put the motherfucker in there and then close it up. You're not supposed to be going back in, but you would also need shafts and stuff to let air and shit get out. Otherwise, you might end up with a bomb of gas in your pyramid.
So the all the staining in the Red Pyramid, they say, is bat dung. Well, the thing that
bats would get in there.
Okay, the thing that he wasn't supposed to do is test it, because they don't want you to test it. Okay, well, he tested it, and it's literally not bat shit at all. It's what he thought it was for, the ammonium or whatever the fuck I'm talking about, right?
A residue from that gas.
Yeah, okay. And then if you look at the staining on the walls, at the bottom, it looks like staining of something flowing. Okay? And then, the guy that made the same during the Industrial Revolution, the guy that made the exact same thing that we use today, that we scaled up during the Industrial Revolution, he spent 5 years in Egypt studying the Red Pyramid before he made his prototype.
Okay, but and him scraping shit off the wall and saying it's not batshit, it wouldn't be batshit on the wall. The batshit would pile on the floor, but batshit puts off a lot of gases, particularly like ammonia, you know? So it could be there was so much batshit that it just started
It doesn't explain what why would the staining of that stain that he tested, why would it have a flowing state? And the pyramid is exactly designed.
Gases waver.
Okay, I'm saying it needs to be looked at.
I'm just giving like devil advocate kind of.
Yeah. But also his thing is that he doesn't even take it just to the pyramids itself. He's like, take it to their lore, right? So what are the two things that Egyptians worshipped a lot? Cows and scarabs. The cow created the shit that they used to make the start of the chemical revolution. Okay, and then the scarab takes the dung and rolls it towards the light. And the light was Ra, which is their most powerful god. Okay, so literally in their lore, they're worshiping the one thing that started their industrial chemical revolution.
What I'm getting out of a lot of what you're saying, though, is that the Egyptians
had use for the pyramids.
A lot more use for cow shit than we give them credit for.
Well, just the one pyramids are cow shit.
The gases, and then you stem from that, you turn like decomposition and stuff that releases gases, and you'd have to have vents. Like I said, if you don't have vents, you'd have a fucking time bomb.
And then in the Red Pyramid, the one that I'm talking about, the way the chambers are set up, okay, so it's literally like a valve set of chambers. Each one is offset the perfect amount, and if you look at it, the original barrier around that pyramid, okay, so like say the pyramid's this tall, right? The barrier came up to here. Well, each one of those things, the last one was perfectly level with the barrier, and the barrier would fill with water, and you could push that water into it. So every gas would get pushed by the water into the final chamber. And that chamber was the one that had the release to the out. Well, it actually didn't have that's the methane one. This one went down, and there was a giant like cauldron pot at the bottom where all this stuff went. So like it seems like if you take what they say are pharaoh tombs or sarcophagus or whatever, and you just turn those into like pots of like a chemical thing, then it all still makes sense.
It could have been like labs or something. Maybe that's what they were doing. They were testing shit out, and they knew like if they made a gas or something and it got out, it could kill a whole village. So they were like, seal them in this fucking thing when you're working on it.
Well,
so they're tight.
I wish I could remember the actual chemical, but the whole reason why this pyramid is so important to him is because a question that people can't answer for a long time is if Egyptians didn't have advanced chemistry, how did they purify their gold so well? Because some of their gold is more purified than you can get just by melting it.
Yeah, and they were fucking painting and stuff with gold.
So what this chemical that he found in, like, he thinks the Red Pyramid was made for using is one of the main chemicals you use to purify gold. So like he believes that and think about this, dude, all the grave robbing and stuff, all this Egyptian stuff that they have that's worth millions of billions of dollars and stuff, and a lot of it's still missing. Like there's still tons of it missing. So they had way more gold stuff than we can even possibly fathom. They would have needed a lot of this chemical. So why wouldn't you build a giant pyramid to make it instead of building it on a small scale where you only get a little bit?
I do think a lot of their stuff that was gold was painted though as well. Like it wasn't necessarily gold. There's a lot of that shit back in the day.
Well, there was 128 pyramids. Each one could have been used for something different. Like the Red Pyramid is structured completely different than the Step Pyramid, and then the Pyramid of Khufu is designed completely different than both of those. So if you each machine is built differently. It's interesting because I started like researching where did the original idea that they were pharaohs came from. Okay, so I didn't know this, but nobody really had the idea if it was a chamber for pharaohs until they discovered Titikal in Mesoamerica, which in the center of that pyramid they found a trap door with a staircase that goes all the way to the bottom that has a crypt. So then once they found that, they were like, oh, well then all these chambers in the pyramids are also probably tombs. And then they started going and finding information to support that. So then they were like, oh, look at this.
And
They
started
found
finding
this
mummies and
cartouche.
stuff in a
What's
lot.
that?
They found mummies in how many of the pyramids?
None of the major pyramids in Egypt.
None of
Nope.
the pyramids.
There's literally, you can look this up, and you can ask Google, and Google's the most woke bullshit on the planet, dude. You can ask Google right now, is there any actual evidence that the pyramids in Egypt were used as as tombs for pharaohs? They will say there is no evidence.
Okay.
There's no actual evidence.
Had a large part in it, or was it mostly methane? I don't know. I'm not a chemist. I just know that ammonia's bad, methane's bad. Methane's explosive, and I think ammonia is just mostly poisonous. I don't know if it's combustible or not.
Well, that's the point of that's what his thing is like, his whole thing is all the pyramids on the Giza Plateau are connected. And if you go and you look at the industrial sites, when the Industrial Revolution happened, we built all of our factories in the same area. Like, so, and then this factory would have the same, like, safety protocols as this factory. And then in a lot of times, if a company built something and it used different raw materials, they'd have the raw material refined here and then moved right over to the other part of their factory and then used in a different way. So his whole thing is if they did have a giant chemical industrial revolution, it would explain why you would use stone, because stone can much more harness the forces that would be with all the reactions, and also it would last longer and require less maintenance.
And besides gold, they didn't really have much metal working anyways, did they? I think gold actually has a low melting point.
They were using that, so they say gold and copper.
Yeah. They didn't make it into iron.
But it's funny because Tutankhamun has a steel dagger sword made of a meteorite.
Yeah, I was gonna say that meteorite thing, but what's that meat? It's made of steel. The meteorite was steel.
No, it was melted down into a version of steel, but because the meteorite is already more refined than most of the ore that we pulled out of our ground, it was easier to turn into steel.
I think they think a lot of the ore and stuff in our ground did come from meteorites and stuff throughout time. It just gets pulled under.
Well, I was looking at the one picture that NASA made of Earth without water, and if you really look, if their picture is even close to accurate, it's so easy to tell that half of our planet got smacked off, like, because the Pacific Ocean is literally half the planet. If you look at Earth truly, if like you were to just take it and make it a circle snapshot from space, and you would flip it over each way, one side would hold 90% of the land, and the other side would be only hold a little tiny bit of land on the edges, and the rest of it's all Pacific Ocean. So literally, if you removed all that water, it's twice as deep as the Atlantic Ocean. So in my mind, I'm like, something sideswiped the Earth and took off a giant chunk of it, because that's exactly what it looks like.
I don't know how that could happen though.
Well, it's happened. The Earth's been hit at least twice, NASA says.
But something of that size, I don't think there would be a side swipe like that, because if they got that close, I think one of them would end up getting pulled to the other.
Well, you have two balls going at each other, and if they're relatively the same size and they hit, well then, it breaks, and then they just go the opposite way. So, Earth wasn't here originally. This didn't happen until Jupiter moved. Do you remember that whole thing I did on the whiteboard where I bought this? Mm-hmm. That Jupiter was made at 3.5, got sucked into 1.5 where Mars is now, and then went back out to 5.2. Well, until Jupiter was on its way out to 5.2, we weren't here. So when Jupiter was where Mars is, we didn't even exist. Like, they don't even know where we were. We don't know if we were still in the nebula cloud or if we were just a different piece of space rock.
They also don't know any of that Jupiter bullshit, just so you know. It's all theoretical physics.
Yeah, but, it's NASA, dude. They know everything, dude. Richard E. Byrd, dude.
It's an interesting thing, but
I think the most interesting thing is that the moon really looks like it's made up of a combination of space dust, cheese, so Cheez-Its,
and man.
So Cheetos, Cheez-Its,
And one
Goldfish,
man that really loves Cheez-Its that lives on the moon now.
Kraft macaroni and cheese. It's the cheesiest, right? Okay.
Cheesy. Dangerously cheesy.
Aliens are all Chester Cheeto. It's okay. Aliens are Chester Cheeto, and they come from the moon. I feel good.
Flaming hot Cheeto. I can go for some flaming hot Cheetos.
Is that nostalgia for you?
Nah, I just haven't eaten. That's, munchies.
All right. While we're on ancient cultures, me and Jim were having a random thought experiment last night. Okay. So when we think of ancient cultures, like this is what when I say ancient cultures, I'm talking pre-year 100. Okay. Mm-hmm. Anything before the gunpowder is ancient to me. Okay. So gunpowder changed the world, in my opinion,
well,
and everything has to be
gunpowder for a long time, though, didn't they?
It's like, okay, so
have you ever played Civilization, the video game?
No.
It actually is kind of like in the early game, everybody starts off with no tech, and then it branches off, and it kind of did work like that, where like certain countries mastered, like Egypt with like chemistry, and then like the Romans with the bronze and all that shit, and then the iron, and China had gunpowder. Like it did kind of, and the Native Americans had horses and stuff.
Well, yeah,
but they didn't even have horses.
So there's a difference.
That was the Spaniards.
There's a difference between something being made and universal. Okay, so China may have had gunpowder, but it didn't affect the world yet. You know what I'm saying?
Because trade wasn't
right.
possible.
So like I would
8 years.
I would still say around the year 100 or so to me is an ancient style of thinking. Okay, so I was thinking about how like even more ancient cultures, like how they thought of gods, right?
I think ancient might be anything before medieval, like the Dark Ages and back. I would
Okay.
say. I think medieval's pretty well documented. Like there's still like family lineages and stuff like that for most places.
Okay. So I'm talking now hundreds years BC. Okay, we're talking just out of hunter-gatherer shit. Like that's it. Okay. The way they thought of gods. Okay. So if you went to one of those cultures, let's just say the ancient Aztecs or the early ancient Egyptians, like the first dynasty. Okay. Say I went to them and I explained to them Putin and Kim Jong-un. Okay. And I was like, there's a guy. Okay, who, without sending anybody anywhere, could cause global destruction.
Fire.
Like, could just cause global destruction and kill a lot of the planet and destroy cities with like just looking at something. He could just say the words and it happens, basically.
All it takes is for Sleepy Joe to fall off his arm and hit the button.
Well, that's not true, because America doesn't work like that. So that's why this thought experiment works.
That's what you think.
That's why this thought experiment works for me, because if you explain the United States, we are basically like the Roman Empire. We're all powerful. Okay? But Putin, if you described him, would almost be considered a god, because he has the power, without sending a force of armies, he could destroy major cities in the blink of an eye. That is godlike power, and if you describe that to ancient cultures, they would call him a god.
Yeah.
The only reason we don't view that is because we understand technology and we've grown up with it already being a thing. You know what I mean? So back then, they thought people that predicted when a star was going to shoot across the sky, that person spoke to gods themselves.
Yeah.
If I said and meant it with everything in my heart that this guy, with just touching an electric rock, essentially, could destroy a lot of the planet, they would call him a god.
That's what I said before, like the Dark Ages and back, not like medieval. It's like the Dark Ages was when all the shit was getting burned. But I know what you mean, Jer.
I want to talk about the Crusades one week. Okay.
Crusades? You ever see Kingdom of Heaven?
Uh-uh.
Fucking Legolas? What's the actor's name? Guy from Pirates of the Caribbean. It's fucking Legolas in Lord of the Rings.
I have no idea, dude.
You know what I'm talking about, though?
Yeah, the guy that I swore, like, for a long time, I thought Neil Patrick Harris played Legolas.
He was a better actor than Neil Patrick. I love Neil MPH, but he's a better actor than MPH. But it's like a really like good depiction of like the Crusades. And there's like some really epic scenes, and I mean there's like really epic battles and stuff, but a lot of like the dialogue and stuff is like really powerful. Like fucking Saladin at the end, he's surrendering Jerusalem to him, and he asks him, he's like, what is Jerusalem worth? And he's like, nothing. He starts walking away, he turns around and goes, everything, because he's like expands his arm out to the whole army of like people that would follow him. Like it's a really good movie. It's really strong lines. Not all of it's true, but it's all like tied to like actual historical things, like the Leper King and all that shit. He gets depicted in every fucking Crusades thing.
Amazing Kingdom of
Orlando
Heaven
Bloom.
was amazing, and it's Orlando Bloom.
Yeah, Jared knows. You need to see Kingdom of Heaven if you can. It's an older movie. It's like probably over 15 years old at this point. It's long. Like 4 hours long, maybe. But it's worth it.
Okay.
There's some, like, religious, like, hints of God and stuff throughout it, but it's all left, like, ambiguous enough that it's like, was that actually an act of God, or you know, was it just pure chance that he just survived that? Like,
Right. Okay, so you want to hear about a UFC legend wanting to prove biology? Or do you want to hear about some wild Annie Oakley shit?
Annie Oakley, like the...
Mm-hmm.
Oh, go ahead, Annie Oakley.
All right. So Annie Oakley was once famously quoting for, when men hit the target, they're known as a marksman. But when I hit the target, it's known as a trick. I never did like that very much. Okay?
Yeah, strong lines.
So now, this is when I was reading people like talking about her in the comments because that quote went viral. And luckily, somebody who's an Annie Oakley enthusiast decided to drop some knowledge on all of us that I had to look up and confirm because it seemed so unreal that I had to make sure it was true. Okay? So she was so famous for trick shots that she was invited to go entertain Queen Victoria. Okay? And at the time, Queen Victoria had her grandson there, Kaiser Wilhelm of Germany. Okay? And this was when he was younger. Okay? So, to entertain the Queen, she sought a cigarette out of Kaiser Wilhelm's mouth. Okay?
Ballsy.
Fast forward about 15 years, Kaiser Wilhelm is one of the main reasons World War I starts. Annie Oakley sends him a letter and goes, I'd love to perform a trick again as I'm afraid I missed the first time. What a legend.
Yeah.
That's fire, dude.
Hell of a marksman.
Hell of a marksman. Hell yeah, dude. Annie Oakley, dude. So, I then went in a rabbit hole because not only did I find that cool as hell, but then my thought was, wait a fucking second. The guy who started World War I was the grandson of Queen Victoria?
There's a lot of people that started.
Okay, so then I had to look it up. I had to be like, why do they blame him for starting it when there's so many factors?
Well, he was the first to declare war, and then everyone else had the treaties and pacts with each other.
So he apparently is the son of Queen Victoria's daughter, but the son of the former Prussian leader. Okay? So he sided more with his father and hated his mother, which means he hated the Queen of England, his grandmother. Okay? So then they started an arms race, which led to a lot of nationalism, which made people very territorial,
Very
intense, tensions were high.
Yeah.
And then when Archduke Ferdinand was assassinated and all that shit, he goes, this is what it is. If anybody sets foot, it's war. And the funny thing is I looked into it, and he announced that knowing that there was people already on his land, so he announced it and immediately killed them and was like, I told you. They didn't even have a chance to get off the land.
Yeah. And then every other country was like dominoes.
Yep.
And the U.S. had to come in eventually. Just because.
Yep, because we were part of the banking system, and J.P. Morgan was like, yo, help me out, dog.
We had a lot of money to be made.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
And Season of the Witch is pretty good, Jer, but it's not on the same tier as Kingdom of Heaven at all. I mean, it's what Nick Cage and Hellboy, so that's good. I like me some Hellboy. I can never remember his name either. Help in the original Hellboy.
I do not know.
Gary
Busey.
No, it's not Gary Busey. I always mix
Gary
up.
Veter.
It might be.
Dude, no, Gary Veter's the Gary Veter's that guy that's on the YouTubes and stuff all the time. What you gotta do, man, is you gotta go to the store, you gotta buy something, you gotta sell it online for more, man. You gotta grind, man. Yeah, if you're not 25 and rich, what are you fucking doing, man?
Ron Perlman.
Ron Perlman?
Yeah. Him and Nick Cage. That bitch can run a trick any day. Oh, the witch? Yeah, she was pretty sexy.
All right,
I wasn't
nostalgia.
particularly turned on as she was killing everybody, but
Nostalgia, dude. Who, like, if you had to think back right now to your teenage years, what celebrity did you fancy the most? Which one caught your eye the most, would you think? The first one you can think of. So obviously, like, when you were like 5, you're probably into like Peppa Pig or something. But like, what happens when you turned like 9? Who was you into, bro?
alright.
10, 11, 12?
I can't even think of any, honestly.
Yeah?
Yeah. I'm trying, like, some are flashing in, but I'm like, nah, I wasn't, like, obsessed with them, or there wasn't any, like, one that I was, if there was, like, a sexy scene, I'd be like, ooh, regardless of who it was, but...
I think the one that there's 2 that I can think of. The first one I think of because it was embarrassing, and to this day, it's like one of those things where I'm like, God damn biology. So I'm sitting in a room with my dad, my uncle, and my uncle's friend, right? And we're watching the movie 8 Mile, okay? Now, I'd never watched the movie 8 Mile, but Brittany Murphy's in it, and she's kind of hot, okay? And she has this scene where her and Eminem basically have sex, and she's basically almost nude, and she's like, coming and stuff. And I got a boner real hard, dude, okay? And my dad said, in that moment, hey, dude, go grab me a soda out the fridge.
He knew it was up.
So I literally did this. I stood up like this, right? And I started walking like this because I didn't want nobody to see my boner, right? My dad's like, why the fuck you walking like that? And I'm like, come on, man. He's like, why are you walking like that? I'm like, come on, bro.
You hadn't learned how to tuck it into your waistband.
No, dude. Had no idea, dude. Nothing, dude. And then they were like, dude, he's got a boner, dude. You're gay, dude. Started calling me, you got a boner in a room full of dudes. You're gay, dude.
Maybe the Pink Power Ranger. The original Pink. That might have been my first, like...
Yeah?
I was, like, too young at that point to be, like, turned on, but I remember even as a kid being like, she's hot.
Amanda Bynes.
Amanda Bynes is a good one. Like when we'd been like what 10 when
she was in
all those, like, her like 16-year-old movies and stuff.
The movie where she was with Frankie Muniz, my big fat liar or whatever.
Yeah, Big Fat Liar.
Yeah, dude.
Frankie Muniz.
Yeah, he's a NASCAR driver now.
Is he?
Yeah, dude.
I was gonna say he's forever doomed to be a child.
He just qualified to play to perform in his first grand
the
whatever.
less you weigh, the better.
I think. It's not NASCAR. It's like Formula One or whatever.
Well, that's even more impressive. In my
Yeah.
opinion. That's a lot scarier than a lot of the NASCAR stuff.
Do you know that he was on so many drugs for the show Malcolm in the Middle? He doesn't even remember filming any of the last 2 seasons.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
You know Amanda Bynes is on so many drugs right now. She's running naked around Vegas.
I know. I talked about it on the podcast. I said I wish I lived in Vegas.
Yeah.
God damn it! I would have fucking made sure it never reached the news. But I would have had some pictures. Madeline Kahn, she was from Young Frankenstein and Blazing Saddles.
She's a smoke show.
Blazing Saddles.
Ooh, what they say?
Oh, that one. I thought he meant the redheaded chick from the governor's office.
Woo.
The redheaded chick in the bikini from the governor's office.
Yeah. Maybe. I don't know her name. But yeah. The bimbo, literal
Dude,
bimbo.
you know what's crazy is To this day, I don't know if I made it up because I've looked it up twice, and I'm not going to look it up a third time because that's weird, okay? But I've looked it up twice. For some reason, when I remember watching, when I was a teenager, Brendan Fraser's Journey to the Center of the Earth, there was a hot redhead running through the jungle.
I never saw that.
And I thought she was the most gorgeous thing ever created on the planet. And then, like, I don't know, like a few years ago, I Googled hot redhead from Center of the Planet of the Earth, or whatever the fuck it's called. Journey to the Center of the Earth. And there's not a single picture. Like, I can't tell. Like, I'd have to watch the movie again. But I swear to God, when I was 16, I watched the movie, I was like, nothing can get more beautiful than this. I'm going to have to look it up now.
Once I was like 16 and stuff too, I wouldn't be like fantasizing about a lot of the actresses because I would just fucking look at porn and just.
Robin Hilton was the
Blood.
mayor's bitch. I didn't have the access to porn until
I had like porn star names like memorized when I was like 16 to 18.
damn, dude.
I watched a lot of porn.
I didn't even have access to porn until I was almost 18, 19.
I remember burning DVDs for my one buddy because he was like, "Man, I don't have any like porn. I have a couple magazines." I was like, "I got you," and I just like picked a bunch of random videos and gave him DVDs. So he's like, "What the hell?"
So before I became homeless at 16, when I was like 15 or whatever, I had a nudie magazine. Okay, from the 80s, bruh.
I had a couple penthouses.
Okay, and then I went homeless and everything, and then I didn't have access to porn because, like, for some reason I was so dumb that I didn't have internet. And then when I did have internet, I was like, I always thought like people could see everything you were doing no matter what. Like, so if like I was at my buddy's house and he had Wi-Fi, I didn't want to like look up anything because I was like, they can look at the Wi-Fi and see what I looked up. You know what I mean? So it wasn't until I became like out of school and on my own and had my own internet on my phone. Cheater with a Raider of 1, what's good?
What's good?
With the raid, how's it going? Appreciate it. I'll take a shot for the raid.
Take. That's Jenna Jameson. That was mine, Jer. The first one.
Teener. So a hotel manager was fired, and now he's being charged with assault for sneaking in the middle of the night and sucking on a toe.
Whose toe was it?
A guest at the hotel he was a manager at.
Guy or girl?
This is where it gets weird. You would think it's a guy, right? Okay, so it's a guy that did it. Okay, you would think he would sneak in and suck on a girl's toe. But that is incorrect. He sucked on a man's toe.
That's why
He
I asked.
snuck in. He's a night manager at a hotel. He snuck in and...
A man came in flip-flops. That dude was like,
Give
me them hobbit's feet.
And then he went and he burned himself a card to his room and was like, I bet he's sleeping with them tootsies out. Oh, man, I'm going to get me one of them tootsies in my mouth.
How mad would he be if he got in there and the dude was wearing fucking Nikes while he was asleep?
I'm gonna. When I start traveling for comedy, bro, if you don't think I'm going to have some clap cleats or some shoes on, bro, dude, hell yeah, dude. You're going to have to suck on the rubber of my clap cleat, dude. Get the fuck out of here, dude. Do you need protection when you're in a hotel room from creepy feet perverts? Do you not want your toes sucked? Wear clap cleats while you sleep. You can still wiggle your toes because, as you see, individual toe wraps. Okay? And also, if you're just in those and then a guy sneaks in with a key card that he shouldn't have and he wants to suck your tootsie, you've got grip to get out of there and run down the hallway as fast as you can to find the nearest manager.
You could fucking dive out the window and run down the side of the building.
Yeah, dude.
Clap cleats not endorsed jumping out the window and running down the side of the building.
Dude, my feet are not wearing Nikes. Nobody said you could just do it. Okay? Nobody said you could just do it. I'm not wearing Nikes. Get your mouth away from my toes. You know that manager's favorite dish is potatoes. You know what I mean?
What? Potatoes.
Oh my god! Does this sandwich have tomatoes? Ah, mouth-watering.
Are there any other toe foods
Uh,
or not even foods, just like not slang, puns.
ooh! My guy works for the city because every car every once in a while needs a tow. Are you parked illegally? Cause I love tows.
We'll give you a toe.
Toast?
Toe for toe.
Toast?
Toast. Okay. There's a toast to toes.
Yeah.
I love me some feet.
You're totally hot.
That's one of the ones one kink I'll never understand is feet. Maybe it's because I have such stinky feet. I just assume, like, girls' feet would be gross, too. Maybe girls take really good care of their feet. I don't know.
I mean, they get pedicures and manicures and shit.
This is true, but, I mean, even if I, like, wash my feet and stuff, I still got stinky feet whenever I take my shoes off and stuff.
Oh, yeah, dude. Like, I would... Okay, this is how it goes for me. Okay? I could jump out of the shower, open a pack of socks, put the brand new socks on, open a box with brand new shoes, put those shoes on, go walk around for an hour and a half, take those shoes off. The fuck is that? Fritos?
But maybe girls just, it's like how girls don't poop. They got good feet.
I don't know. Feet fetish is so massive, kind of wild. Yeah, dude, feet fetish. Dude, the fact that Margot Robbie had Footgate. Did you know about this?
Nah.
So Margot Robbie is starring in the new Barbie movie that's releasing, or just released, or whatever. And in the trailer that dropped, there's a scene where she's got her feet up on the thing, right? Oh, look at my foot. Foot fetish. Okay? And people were like, oh, Margot Robbie's so hot, but she's got weird feet. Like, it became like a whole thing. Like, people like with foot fetishes on Twitter were nonstop talking about her feet.
Clown feet?
No. So, and then like people started investigating it because apparently there's a website where if you have a foot fetish, you go there and people take pictures of people's feet in the wild. And there's a celebrity section, okay, for celebrities' feet, okay?
Of course.
So then investigators started doing pixel by pixel analysis of the foot, Margot Robbie's foot in the trailer versus other movies and her beach pictures she's posted online. And they were like, those aren't her real feet. Why is she wearing prosthetic feet? Okay?
Because they are that committed to the Barbie fucking concept. They made her feet to scale what Barbie's feet were.
Exactly. So that's what she said. She had to come out and talk about it because it was getting so much traction online. People were talking about her
Was
foot.
that what it was?
Yeah, well, yeah, she literally said, well, because it's not supposed to look real. I'm a Barbie.
Gosh.
She's like, no, it's not my foot, dude.
There's no way they do that for the whole movie, though.
Okay? But, so the funny thing is that she's doing, like, interviews for the movie. And then one reporter just has to go, there's been a lot of chatter online. What do you think about the take on your foot in the trailer? And she's like, I don't know why this is a story.
Why are you reporting on this?
Why are you talking about my footsie?
Why are you feeding these weirdos? Let them be weird feet.
Okay, there's an
Don't
hour
pay
left.
attention to
You
it.
see this Pokemon box right here? You see it? If anybody other than Neil, Sam, or Jer say they want it opened, I'm opening it at the end. I will.
You won't.
I will, dude, if they
I
say
don't
it.
want it open. How about that?
Okay, well, then I'll add it to my collection of
Hey,
non-open.
whoever's typing right now, fuck you.
Yeah, I'll do
I
it.
don't want it open.
Yeah, dude.
I'm just kidding. Type it. But fuck you. Ain't my podcast. I can tell them to fuck themselves.
Neil.
I guess I should stop using the F1. Huh. That's a bad one for the internet.
Jer, what is this?
For some reason. Neil versus Mothra.
Dude, Jer, I swear to
I'd
God,
fuck
bro.
Mothra's day up.
You fuck Mothra's day up,
All
bro?
Mothra's good for is fucking dying to power up Godzilla. Like, it's been that way since the dawn of time. Fuck Mothra. Little bitch. Fucking eat Mothra like little caterpie that she is. She ain't even a caterpie. She's fucking Weedle. Not even a Weedle. It's a fucking one that turns into Silcoon or Wurmple.
Interesting, Jer.
Fuck Wurmple.
Very, very interesting.
What did he say?
He didn't say anything. He texted me something.
Okay.
Interesting.
What's
Jer, there's two things, bro. There's two things.
What's he too scared to type in the chat?
Oh, dude. Okay, hold on.
No, you did this.
That's my ass off. You did this. Jared, dude.
It's true, I asked.
I might know them in real life, dude. You know what I mean? It's a weird situation, dude. Moving on. Okay. So Neil versus Mothra, dude. You're my Godzilla, dude. So who's my Mothra? Would that be Jim? What is Mothra? Describe Mothra to me. I know about Godzilla.
Mothra? Okay. So Mothra Steel, it's in a cocoon. At the start of like every Mothra story, it's a cocoon. And most of the time, it's tied to a pair of twins. In the new ones, it was just one little girl, I think, or one guy. But it's usually like mentally linked with like two little Asian girls that like can speak to Mothra. And Mothra's whole deal is pretty much just, yo, Godzilla's about to die. I'm gonna go back up Godzilla. And then Mothra dies, and like Godzilla gets super powered whenever Mothra dies. And then Mothra reincarnates for some bullshit, and it just like reappears as the cocoon. Like,
Okay.
that's like Mothra's whole fucking. That's all you need to know about
It's
Mothra.
never a caterpillar.
It starts as a caterpillar, but it very quickly turns into a butterfly most of the time. Like, it's in the cocoon turning into a butterfly most of the time.
Nice. Now, is Mothra attracted to Japan because it's so light? There's so many lights.
It is like it's more tied to Japan than most of the other ones, but it's mainly linked with Godzilla. Like, I don't think there's ever been like a reason why. It's just like Godzilla's the defender of Earth, Mothra wants to protect Japan, so it's like, yo, if there's like a global, if Ghidorah's here with like a metal head, like, I'll come help you fight, you know? Like, that's like Mothra's whole thing.
Okay. So in the Godzilla universe, there's what? Godzilla, King Kong, and Mothra. There's more than that? Okay, name one more.
Hit you with a random one. Jet Jaguar. Okay.
Okay, Jet Jaguar?
That's a giant mech that like humans pilot. Then there's like Angora or something. It's like a giant ankylosaurus. It's got like the spiky shell and the spiky tail. There's Ghidorah. There's fucking Destroya, Plantera. There's so fucking many Godzilla monsters.
And
Rodan.
Japan don't fuck around with their lures.
There's been so many Godzilla movies.
Okay, Jared, the situation.
It's 8 different types of Godzilla.
Without looking at what you sent me too much, I can't, like, I would say I'm 80% sure it's not, but there's a 20% chance that I need to investigate because they might be the sister I don't know very much. That's
Good,
it.
Jer.
Yeah.
And Mothra is pretty cool. We're not doing much. Mothra's a bro.
Mothra is a bro.
He
dude.
literally dies to like heal Godzilla in like 80% of the movies he's in. In the new ones, he dies, and Godzilla gets like all red, and he beats up. Which one was that? I think it might have been the first one with the 2 new bugs that they introduced. I don't know their names. The new movies are pretty good, actually. I'm happy with the.
I just watched the Godzilla versus Kong one.
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then
Charlie Day's in it.
Yeah, he's in all of them. Yeah.
Luigi now.
Yeah.
He will now be Luigi forever.
He was in fucking Pacific Rim as well, so he must be like a kaiju fan because he's done a lot of.
Canceled?
What got canceled? Godzilla better not have got canceled. They're coming out with a new Godzilla and Kong movie. I saw. They had a big. There's another monster that they're already introduced. It's a big. It's like an orangutan looking version of Kong. That's like the teaser trailer they put out.
So it was that movie with Dwayne Johnson with the white gorilla part of that? It was just called like Skull Island or something.
That was like Rampage.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was nothing. That was based off the old video game where
I just like the emote.
where you would turn into like the big monsters and just smash up the town. It was like an old arcade game called Rampage.
Okay.
And they took heavy liberties with that from what I saw.
Dude, Jared, you should go in their chat and find out if they know me, bro.
Why did Dwayne Johnson get canceled?
What do you mean?
Like why is he under attack lately? What did he do?
Oh, because he's a fucking... His head got way too big, bro.
But what did he do explicitly?
Okay, so it's a combination of things, okay? So WWE fans are mad because WWE has been working 3.5 years on a storyline for him to come back and dethrone his young nephew,
Roman Reigns?
who's been champion for 3 years, And they literally planned it for this WrestleMania. They've been planning it for 3 years. They set everything, like, they made it to where this dude won a championship and held it for 3
And they
years.
were like, Dwayne, you can do all the steroids you want.
Yeah, and then literally a month out from WrestleMania, he goes, you know what, I'm just not feeling up to it. I don't want to do it.
Didn't he try to buy the company too?
Yeah, and they said no, so then he bought the XFL. Okay? So then after that, he trashed DC. So he made Black Adam or whatever.
Brendan Fraser ruined him? But Brendan Fraser had some dirt on The Rock.
I don't know what he's talking about. Okay, but anyway, so Dwayne Johnson, okay, he was Black Adam for the Disney movies, okay? Mm-hmm. And it was not going to be part of the James Gunn thing because they just brought in...
That's not the Disney movies. That's the DC movies.
DC, yeah. Okay, so they brought in the Marvel guy, James Gunn.
Yeah, he's like the head of the DC
okay?
stuff now.
So he was going to start fresh after those movies, okay? Well, Dwayne wasn't having it because he threw his superstardom around in the company and on social media, and he made announcements that weren't true. But then because everybody was so hype about the announcements, DC ended up making it happen. And then he was upset that the movie failed and started trashing DC and said they were a shitty company and all this stuff. Okay? But then other actors from the other movie that he trashed, because the other movie, Shazam, came out a month later, had to deal with the same thing. Okay? And it tanked. So that actor came out and was like, fuck you, Dwayne. You ruined everything. Like, and then, like, released the behind-the-scenes stuff of what Dwayne did, you know? Like, inserted himself into the thing, made James Gunn go out and get Henry Cavill back even though they wanted to cut ties, and then they paid him $10 million for 5 seconds. You know what I mean? And then this whole thing, and then he was supposed to do another project with Kevin Hart, but then he was like strong-arming Kevin Hart, being like, I'm more of a superstar than you. So Kevin Hart was like, well, I'm just cutting ties with you. Yeah, I'm done with you, so I can go do my own thing.
Poor Henry Cavill.
And then Dwayne basically shit on DC, shit on WWE, and then shit on all of Hollywood. And then also he was one of the people who was like, take the vaccine, fuck your freedom shit. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So now just all of that combined, and then he's like, everything that he does that fails now is somebody else's fault. And he's like, it doesn't matter, I'm moving on to the next thing. I'm doing live action Frozen.
If there's one good thing about him getting canceled is it makes me like side with Vin Diesel and The Rock and Vin Diesel feud, because I was always like, man, I like The Rock and I like Vin Diesel. You know, it sucks that they don't like each other, but Vin Diesel always seemed like a super nice guy. So it was like weird that he was feuded. So now I'm glad that I can like Vin Diesel again wholeheartedly.
Well, dude, and the weird thing was I was just like you, dude. I was like, I don't understand the beef. And then Vin Diesel, did you see that he made a post once, or it was like a video. He was like, hey, Dwayne, I know we haven't always seen eye to eye, but you're my brother. We, like, you know,
you're my family.
Yeah, we're bringing this movie series to an end. Like, you have to come back. Like, you know, like, you have to finish this out. We have to see it through to the end.
Yeah,
we're
a big part of it.
Yeah, we're a family. And literally, like, they asked Dwayne how he felt about it. He was like, I think it's shitty that he's trying to strong arm me by releasing videos like that.
It is kind of shitty, to be fair.
When you won't answer the guy's calls or texts or anything over a disagreement because you said he was too catty. You said Vin Diesel was too catty, but now everybody's breaking ties with you because you're being just like that.
Yeah. Like I said, Vin Diesel always seemed like a super, super nice guy.
Dwayne Johnson versus Vicky Guerrero in WWE. If we're talking strictly WWE, Dwayne Johnson in WWE was phenomenal. The Rock was one of my favorite characters when I was a kid. I mean, dude, it was awesome. Yeah. He was fantastic. Vicky Guerrero had that moment where she was, excuse me, or whatever. But, like, that was almost more annoying.
She was a good villain.
Yeah, she was a good heel.
Yeah.
But other than that, dude, can we talk about his song and Vin Diesel all the way?
And The Rock was a good heel when he had to be a heel as well.
Well, I think it's hilarious that he expects us all to believe he's not on steroids. He's like, I tried steroids once and it didn't agree with my body. Well, hey, buddy, unfortunately for you, I know this to be true, is that you're 55, you're more jacked than you were when you were 23 in the WWE, and when you were in the WWE, you wore that cut-off shirt with the bull on it for 9 months because you got pec implants.
Reduction.
He got pec implants to make his chest look bigger.
I think he also had the surgery to get rid of the Samoa gut too.
Yeah, and that's why he wore that cut-off shirt for 9 months without having his shirt off, because he didn't want them to see the scars healing. So, dude, don't tell me that you, like, when you were 23, you were like, I don't want to put in the work. I'd rather get the surgery. But at 55, you're like, I do the work. If you're not doing the work,
as soon as you're conveniently not being tested for
right,
performance enhancing drugs.
So you're telling me that, what the fuck?
What?
The camera's all jacked up.
What do you mean?
I think you hit the camera when you came in.
Warning!
Yeah.
What have you done?
Properties. Configure video.
You figured some stuff out.
Whoops, wrong way.
That looked pretty centered before.
Alright, there we go.
I may just be sitting a little farther left. I had my legs crossed there.
No,
for a
I go
little while.
off of the
Oh, you have a
Toto
mark?
yeah, I had the Toto dial and then this thing.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Well, it's good to have like a mark to. Yeah, camera looked fine.
I like consistency though, for like clips and stuff.
You would notice, Jer.
Didn't even notice, to be honest. It's what it is. Okay, so let's get into it. Let's get into some nostalgia stuff, dude. We can do these stories another time.
The Rock was coming.
Oh, well, actually, we do have to acknowledge this. Happy Fentanyl Awareness Day!
Everybody go do some fentanyl.
Make
Be aware
sure-
of it.
Make sure you're aware that fentanyl kills.
Oh. Don't do what I said.
It's Happy Fentanyl Awareness Day!
What the hell?
Make sure you go outside and you tell all your friends that you're aware that fentanyl exists. Dude, that reminds me, dude, nothing pissed me off more. I remember in high school, I got into an argument with this teacher once because I'm just like super irritated. And I was so tired of hearing teachers say this all the time. When you get into the real world, you know, like they would always say that. So one time this teacher goes, when you get into the real world, it's not going to be this easy. And I said, oh, I didn't know. Just because I'm in high school, fucking fairies and dragons exist. I didn't know this was Fantasyland. I said, bitch, I am homeless. Like, I already live in the real world. Don't give me that bullshit.
You're a teacher.
Yeah, dude.
You don't
God.
even know what the role. You never left school.
Fentanyl awareness flag. All right.
You've been in school literally your whole life. If you're a teacher, you go to school, then or like elementary school, high school, college, and then you become a fucking student teacher at a school.
Fentanyl awareness day flag. All right, bet.
I wonder which take it'll use, whether it'll be like anti-fentanyl or if it'll just be like, yo, go do fentanyl. Like what I said.
Okay. Can we go back to the old version?
I think ChatGPT's fucking stupid though. Everything I've seen from it just frustrates me with the answers it gives. Where I'm just like, you fucking neutered fucking left-wing mouthpiece. They made an AI that's hypersensitive. They made a Karen AI. That's what they've done.
I got into a full-blown argument with it last night.
I won't even give it the time of day. It's not an AI. Not saying AIs can work on the internet either, because people immediately corrupt them with the opposite of what this AI does. But this isn't the answer. This is literally just like ask Google, but if Google could be like, yo, you're a pervert. And I'm better.
Dude, they changed this, dude. I'm actually really annoyed. Alright, dude, Jared, it's just gonna be what it is. They changed the entire interface, so now I have to look for it. I have to figure out how to use it. But here's the flag. That's your Fentanyl Awareness Day flag, dude.
Once again, ChatGPT
This isn't ChatGPT.
lets me down.
Okay. Alright, so I got some Pokemon stuff that I did with ChatGPT. If you want to get into it.
Good.
Alright.
Shit's hilarious. Your shit is hilarious.
Okay. So I've said I've already been searching this question for over 2 years. So please do not use any easy answers or the first answers you find. Please take your time and use your due diligence. Find me 20 extremely random and little known facts about Pokemon, the franchise, cards, video games, shows, movies, etc. Alright? So it actually gave me a few that I didn't know, but that's all it gives you. Out of the 20 that I requested, it gave me 4 to 5 interesting ones. Okay? So I'll give you an example of some of the dumb ones, right? The names of the main characters, Ash Ketchum and Gary Oak, are based on trees. And Ketchum is a play on the word Ketchum.
It's not wrong.
Okay? So then this is some of the ones that I found that weren't so bad. Scyther was originally designed to only have one arm.
Yeah, I've never heard that before.
The first Pokemon movie, Mewtwo's voice actor was initially uncredited.
I didn't know that. That's pretty obscure.
Let's see.
Like,
The Pokemon Slowbro is based on a real-life creature called the symbiotic relationship between a slow-moving herbivore and a fast-moving carbivore.
what, like birds and a hippo or something? Like what? That's I don't know if that one makes sense, ChatGPT.
Right. The Kangaskhan is based on a mythological creature from Australia Aboriginal folklore.
The kangaroo.
The Pokemon Jigglypuff was originally going to be called Pudding.
Okay. I know that originally your starter Pokemon was supposed to be Clefairy.
The Pokemon Coughing's Japanese name is Doggers, which is a play on the Japanese word for smoke.
Doggers. Puppers.
In the original Japanese version of the Pokemon anime, Misty and Brock were siblings.
That's an interesting one. Definitely didn't have the same parents, huh? Like mother, father, one
The
way or the other.
Pokemon Farfetch'd is based on the Japanese saying, "A duck comes bearing green onions," which is used to describe a very rare occurrence.
Yeah, it's like a duck showing up with the onions to cook a soup with it.
And then I asked it for another set, and then it just did the exact same thing. Pokemon Charizard was originally going to be called Lizardon.
Okay.
Uh,
Charizard's definitely better.
the Pokemon Lapras was originally going to be called Ness, as in Loch Ness Monster.
Okay, I actually often name my Lapras Nessie or something, so I like that.
Snorlax was originally going to be called
Yeah, Jared's got a
Cabagon.
No wonder Brock never would try to bang Misty when he was hitting on every other girl.
But that's true. But also, damn, I was gonna say no. My evidence is that in Pokemon Sun and Moon, where Ash finally wins his national championship, I watched the final 5 episodes of the season, and in the first episode that I turned on, Ash was at a Pokemon Center and turned around and saw Brock and was like, "Oh my god, I haven't seen you in forever." And then Misty slides into the screen and goes, "Hey, what are you doing here? Me and Brock have been traveling together."
Well, brother and sister
Yep.
can travel together.
But my thought was they ended up hooking up later on after Ash left.
I can see that as well, because Ash had how many fucking chicks roaming around with him.
Yep.
It's not like he was committed to Misty.
I mean, he had Misty, Dawn, May,
Which Ash girl was your favorite?
which Ash girl? It has to be Misty, dude. The red hair, dude. The red
I
hair.
mean, if you're
gets me.
going off looks, I like the blue hair. I like
Oh, which one do I like the most?
Yeah.
I don't like any of the ones that he rolled with. My favorite female character in the Pokemon anime series is the young girl that has the Meganium, and she loves the Electabuzz baseball team,
I think I
and
know
she
who
has
you're
that
talking
Elekid.
about. That was like towards the end of when I was watching Pokemon, because that's what I was to say. The only one I even know is Misty. I think I saw a little bit of May. That was like the end of when I was watching Pokemon. I would have to say Misty for like character because that's the only one I know. But I remember May being more bubbly than Misty. Misty was a bitch. I remember
Well, she was always like really angry whenever a girl liked Ash.
that. Yeah. Yeah, she would like beat Ash over the head when he was like, "Oh, that's a pretty girl."
Yeah.
Whoa!
So the other night,
I have feelings in my pants. Is it a Pokemon?
dude, touch my Onyx and 2 Voltorbs.
My penis just evolved.
Steelix. Steelix.
And she has to hit him over the head with a frying pan or whatever.
When you have a Misty playing with your Voltorbs and your Onyx is about to evolve into a Steelix, make sure you put on your clap cleats so you can throw your Pokeballs properly.
It's super effective.
Yeah, dude. Have that bitch squirting like a Squirtle till she's got paralyzation.
It's a critical hit.
Dude, I'm gonna have to write a Pokemon clap cleats thing, dude.
Is he smart?
Yeah, boy.
Sparky.
Okay, so nothing.
Felix in the cloister.
So then towards the end it just gets really dumb. So like it goes, the Pokemon Starmie is based on a starfish. The Pokemon Salamence is based on a European dragon.
Pokemon Starmie is actually one of the more interesting ones because it's like comes from space. Technically, I think.
Bro, Steelix inside the cloister is always the play. Oh yeah, dude, if you're not flicking that cloister horn, you know what I'm talking about? That cloister horn, dude? You're not flicking that cloister, dude? No squirt gun. Water gun.
Through a real life cloister.
Okay, so then I asked...
Shit into a cloister of trials. FF10 reference.
I asked ChatGPT to... So, I was playing Pokemon, the new Pokemon Scarlet, okay? And as I'm playing it, because I was sick this weekend, so I missed some work, okay? And also, I just didn't want to get out of bed. And you can't really play Xbox games laying down, but you can play Pokemon games laying down.
I used to be able to play Xbox games laying down. Well,
so I'm laying
still
down,
play single player.
and I'm slowly playing Pokemon Scarlet while I'm using my laptop to watch the Pokemon series. So I watched Season 5, which is his journey to the Silver League, okay?
Okay.
So it's when he gets his 8 Johto badges and he goes and he fights in the Silver League. So literally... It couldn't have timed out more perfectly. Right when I was about to go to sleep, there's only 2 episodes left. No, there was like 4 episodes left. And they're only 22-minute episodes. So I was like, I can stay up another hour to finish it out. So I'm playing. And I watch Ash fight Gary, you know, and he wins. And then I noticed, I never knew this because I never watched this set, right? But I know that in the Indigo League, you know, he lost a good fight, okay?
Yeah, he loses.
And then I saw the Advanced Battles, the 3rd gen league, and he gets beat by a guy being in the finals with a Darkrai and a Latias. Okay? Yeah, so like in my head, Ash has always been screwed when it comes to winning. Like he seems like he should win and then they screw him over right at the end.
Oh, I don't know about that.
Okay?
He gets plot armor for a lot of those. Fucking Pikachu beats an Onix.
Yeah. But then there's also things that happen to him, like during the Silver League, right?
So the only thing I remember from the Indigo League was that fucking busted ass Bellsprout. And I remember being mad as a kid that Bellsprout had like some fucking judo moves that just let it beat all these Pokemon. And then Muck just comes in and just goes, Muck. Just
so in this one, so in the advanced battle, I don't remember the first one, okay? Because I never got to it. I never seen him in the Indigo League. I only ever saw the first 55 episodes of the first season because that's all I had access to. So I only ever saw it to where he got like the 5th badge. I never even saw past that, okay? So I don't know about the Indigo League one. I know he got what, like 8th place or some shit? But in the Silver League, he gets 4th place. And then in advanced battles, he gets 2nd place.
As long as he beats Gary, that's all that matters.
Yeah. And then, so in my head, I'm like, I've never seen the Silver League. I know he doesn't win it, but you know, like I'm expecting him to do good. And then they do the same thing, like they did it in advanced battles, way bigger. But they did the same thing. So he's fighting this guy in the semifinals, and this dude just whips out. No, it's Gen 2, by the way. You know, this dude whips out his final Pokemon. It's a fucking Blaziken. Nobody's ever seen or heard of a Blaziken before. And then this Blaziken just starts beating the shit out of his Charizard.
I remember the Blaziken hype when Blaziken came out because it hadn't been released. I wasn't watching Pokemon at that time though. I just remember hearing about it.
But yeah, dude. So, but as I was
like He's a kid.
But no, he's my least favorite out of that set of starters.
Yeah.
Um,
yeah. Swampert's my boy.
Okay? So, as I'm watching, I'm playing Scarlet, right? And Scarlet has an abundance of super cool ghost Pokemon. Now, in my career of playing Pokemon, I've played the original game, I've played the remake of the original game, Gold, Heart Gold, I've played half of Diamond, and now I've played X, Sun and Moon, and Scarlet, okay? So I have a pretty big repertoire. I never really was in the ghost Pokemon other than Gengar. He was my main one.
He was the only good one for a long time.
But I've always loved Bayonet's design. I think Bayonet is one of the cooler designs of ghost Pokemon.
Isn't that the one with the doll that got cast aside?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know what it looks like?
Yeah.
Okay, but anyway, I think it's cool.
It has like Gengar's face, pretty much.
It has a zipper. It's a zipper thing.
Oh, you're right. Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
That was my problem with Ghost Pokemon, is they all pretty much have the same face. Like, they're all the same. There's a couple newer ones, like Spiritomb and...
Alright, so this is Bayonet.
Yeah. His first one. He is his first form, right?
Yeah, Shuppet.
Yeah, maybe that's the one I was thinking of. It has like a Gengar face, like
Okay.
the eyes and everything.
So I was thinking of what's up with the ghost Pokemon, right? So then I would remember that Gengar has a funny Pokédex entry, and I was thinking that in the Pokemon world, the ghost Pokemon would probably have the coolest entries in the Pokédex, right?
Yeah, you would think
Because they'd be spooky and scary.
Some of them are like dead. I guess that one's like a doll that got cast aside, and like other ones are actual dead people.
Okay, so I said, out of the first 3 generations, these are the ghost Pokemon out of the first 3 gens. So we're talking nostalgia here. So I'm going to keep most of this conversation here through ChatGPT, because if you add anything past the first 386 Pokemon, it starts giving me dumb answers like, I can't calculate that much info. You know, dumb shit like that. So I keep it with the first 3 gens, okay? So out of the first 3 generations, these are the only ghost Pokemon there are. Haunter, Gengar, Mischievous, Shuppet, Bayonet, Duskull, Dusclops, Sableye. Okay? I had it give me all of their Pokedex entries.
Okay.
Would you like to hear some of them?
Yeah.
Let's start with Ghastly. So Ghastly's red and blue entry. Almost invisible, this gaseous Pokemon cloaks the target and puts it to sleep without a trace. In Diamond and Pearl, born from gases, anyone would fate if engulfed by its gaseous body. And then Pokemon X. This Pokemon's body is 95% made up of gases, which are blown away by strong gusts of wind. Okay. So Haunter. By licking, it saps the victim's life. It causes shaking that won't stop until the victim's demise.
I think a lot of it's involved licking.
If you get the feeling of being watched in darkness when nobody is around, Haunter is there. That's from Silver.
It's racist.
In Pokemon Y, it strikes at humans in total darkness. Those licked by its cold tongue grow weaker with every passing day until they die.
I think a lot of that Haunter's ones involve its tongue.
Mm-hmm.
So I remember that.
Hey guys!
And Gengar's,
What up?
Gengar's more
What
like
up, Hannah? How you
Hey,
doing? How you doing?
Hanna-Barbera.
We're just talking nostalgia. Is there any nostalgia stuff that you got? Because we can interrupt Pokemon talk. We can get back to that anytime. Is there anything nostalgic from you or Bob's childhood or anything like that like you just really fucking like you still are passionate about or that you think back of and have fond memories? So right now in our nostalgia talk, we're talking about Pokemon.
Did you ever watch Digimon?
I watched 2 episodes of Digimon and I said, gay?
Digimon. Digimon. Digital monsters. Digimon are the champions. I like me some Digimon. And he fucking abuses this thing, and it evolves into like the giant skeleton fucking dinosaur, and like they have to fight the giant skeleton.
Okay,
dinosaur.
Bayonet's Pokemon entry from Pokemon Sapphire. A doll that became a Pokemon over its grudge from being junked. It seeks the child that disowned it. Now, here's my question. Was was it ever a turn off to you? Because it's still a turn off to me that the anime and the Pokedex entries match, but they don't match the game. Okay? So now think about this. In the game, I find a Shuppet, which is already a ghost. And then I get it to a level, and then it evolves into a Bayonet. But in the Pokedex entry, it goes directly from a doll to being a Pokemon. So where's the Shuppet come into play? Right?
The games are more worried about being balanced battle-wise. A lot of the lore and stuff takes second.
That bothers me.
Yeah.
Okay, so like when I'm watching...
Well, then you should watch or read the mangas and watch the
So,
show then.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing.
That's more
I just started
canonical.
watching it.
The games aren't really like canon.
Well, this is what annoyed me the most. Okay, so I'm watching. I never knew this until I'm watching Pokemon the other night while I'm sick. The Slowbro's tail is a Shelder jumping up and grabbing it.
Yeah. You never knew that.
No, I never knew that. So like in my head, I'm like, that doesn't even make sense.
They have pasty tail.
Yeah, like I'm chilling.
They actually show that.
I'm in the game.
Because you can buy Slowpoke tail in like every game. Like it's like known that like Slowpoke have delicious tails.
Games destroy lore unless the game is the lore.
Yeah, that's it exactly. It has to be warped into video game format so you can battle, so you can play the fucking video game. You know. Especially like modern Pokemon, it's gotten more and more competitive. Like they actually focus on the competitive scenes. Old Pokemon was fucking broken. Like it was just like Gen 1 Tauros was the best fucking Pokemon, you know, and then after that it was Snorlax. Until they figured it out, like Pokemon was busted.
Okay, so Hannah said that Bob said grilled cheese and tomato soup.
Oh.
So we're talking about nostalgic foods.
I'm hungry.
I'm also on board with the grilled cheese tomato soup thing. Listen, and if Bob ever feels like getting nostalgic and he wants to go get lunch at some tomato soup place, tell him to throw some. You do, they have tomato soup places. Chill out, dude. Tell him to throw goldfish in the tomato soup.
Yeah, that's pretty far. That's not bad. Even like oyster crackers. Like oyster crackers are good in tomato soup. It just a little bit of crunch to the tomato paste.
So what's something you used to make when you were younger that you don't make anymore that you still think fondly of?
I would never eat it now. I mean PB&J.
Oh yeah.
You know, solid my whole life, but when I was like up to like 6 or 7, I would eat ketchup sandwiches.
My dad ate mustard sandwiches.
Mustard makes more sense than ketchup to me now, as an adult. Like, I like mustard has, like, a distinct taste. But as a kid, I would literally just ketchup, 2 pieces of bread, and I would eat that as a sandwich. And I look back on that fondly, but it almost makes me gag now, like, thinking about taking a bite of, like, a piece of bread with just a big glob of ketchup in between it and nothing else.
Okay, so Hannah, what Jeremiah is talking about is, you see this box of Pokemon cards? Okay, this is a special set box that I paid for that has a card that I really, really want. I'll look up the card real quick. There's actually a lot of cards I want, but there's one I'm really looking for.
It's no fair. Jared's grooming her. I said I don't want it opened. I'm gonna fight it all the way.
So this is the card that I'm in search of. And the reason is because the lava...
What a palaver.
So the entire card is holographic, but the lava on the volcano is a different version of pixelated holographic that pops out more than the rest. So it almost gives it a 3D look that the lava is flowing.
Nah, that's not holographic. I'm looking at the picture right now.
I'm looking at the picture right now.
It's not holographic.
But I'm not opening it unless somebody other than them tells me to open it.
Did Jared just say that he eats ketchup sandwiches? Is that what they call it? I mean, I'm not judging if you do. I'm just curious. Or are you talking about ramen? Because, I mean, I still eat ramen.
Okay. My nostalgic food. I probably would not eat it now because it makes no sense to me now. But there was a point in my life where, like, my life was so weird that this made sense to make. Okay? I would take pieces of bread, I would toast them, okay? I'd pull them out, I would spread tomato, pizza sauce on them, and then put a piece of American cheese on it, and then put it in the microwave for 10 to 15 seconds till the cheese started to melt, and then I basically had little toast pizzas. Now,
It's like an Altoona pizza.
now that I'm thinking about it, it sounds gross because...
Altoona PA's specialty pizza is pretty much what you just described.
Open it! Alright, I'll open it. How much time do we got? I'll open it in 10 minutes. Jeremiah, put a timer on.
Chicken pot pie.
Actually,
That's a good one.
I got a timer right here. Boom,
I
two of
can
these
start
bitches.
Buying me some chicken pot pies. Now you say that? Ooh. Chicken
Ooh.
pot pie.
You want to know something crazy, dude? What's tomorrow? Wednesday?
It's Wednesday, my dude.
Tomorrow they have homemade chicken pot pies at the deli.
Okay. Well,
$8.99. It's this big, dude. It's like a real pie.
I live in Pittsburgh.
I know, dude. I know, dude.
But the grill at my Giant Eagle, which is like less than a minute from where I work, opens next week, and they do hot sausages.
What deli?
and rib
It's called the
fusion.
Countryside Deli. It's literally like I could walk to it from my... I'm fat, so you know I walk slow. I could walk to it from my house in 5 minutes.
You cheat though, because you just go to the edge of the road and just roll down the hill. Don't you?
That's true. I never said I'm part Dawn fan, bro. I know rollout, bro. I'm cool, man. Dude, you know what I'm
I got a little
saying?
bit of Dawn
Yeah,
fan
dude.
in
I
me.
used to be a fampy, dude. Now I Dawn fan it, dude.
I liked Dawn fan as a kid, but the older I got, the less I liked him, because I'm just like, you're so useless.
Well, you know, in the new games, they gave him 2 new variants, like super strong
yeah, he's like
variants.
a robot variant
Yeah,
or whatever.
yeah, that one's called Iron Tusk, but that's not the one I like. I like Great Tusk. It's like
You're wrong.
prehistoric.
Oh, okay. That's I like
Prehistoric.
Mammoth Swine.
Hold on.
Mammoth
Great
Swine's
Tusk.
kind of like prehistoric. I didn't see Great Tusk. I just saw the robot one. Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
That's
dude.
pretty cool.
It's prehistoric in this bitch.
So I liked Dawn Fan when I was younger. It was just so bad. Like the older I got, like the more I realized how bad. certain
Well, I
Pokemon
love the
were.
design, and I love it because of the show, but like it was never good, dude. It was never a good Pokemon
It's
to
like,
use.
I remember being a kid and having a Pelibird on my team.
Why would you use Dawn Fan when Tyranitar exists?
Yeah, yeah.
Like,
Well, this is what I mean. I remember having like whatever generation Pelipper came out. I remember having him on my team and being like, "Wow, that's a pretty solid like water."
Pelipper is
flying
fire, dude.
He sucks.
In the show, he's good.
In the show, he's good. In the games, he sucks. He's like one of the worst. So like I tried to play like on an emulator a few years ago. I was playing whatever gen that was, Emerald.
Gen 3, yeah.
Yeah. And I was like, oh, get me a Pelipper. I remember really like Pelipper. He learned surf and fly, so you know that's 2. And I got him, and I was like, why did I ever use this fucking Pokemon? I don't know if like I caught like a really lucky like very like stat.
Well, there's one that like Jared, correct me if I'm wrong. Maybe it's the anime's got me fucked up, but I believe that Pelipper learned something that helps it where it's not completely helpless to electric moves.
It's not even that his stats are terrible. His only decent stat is HP, but his defense and special defense are atrocious. And he's not Snorlax. It doesn't work.
Okay, but yeah, if you're still here interested in the deli,
Yeah,
the
second route Gen 2.
the deli, they have specials every day. They do weird stuff. It's like a homemade little pop shop, and what they do is, I think like every like 3rd day or something, they do chicken pot pies, like homemade chicken pot pies. They have homemade soup. They make calzones, pepperoni rolls. They do the whole shebang, dude. And it's not even really like a deli. It's like a catering food service that you can order individually. But yeah,
Gen
that's
2's ruined for me anymore, Jared, because as soon as I get to Azalea Town, I get a Heracross, and it's just game over. I fucking love Heracross so much.
I just caught a Heracross the other night.
Heracross is like one of my favorite Pokemon. And it's weird because I hate single stage Pokemon,
Mm-hmm.
but I love Heracross. Maybe because he's like the only good bug Pokemon.
I think Heracross is super awesome because he reminds me of a Beetleborg.
And maybe that's what it is. Because Heracross is my boy. I hate Pinsir, You know, I'm not a big
Pinsir
fan.
is one of the biggest disappointments in Pokemon.
I'm not a big fan of Scyther or Scissor. I like
Oh,
Scyther.
okay. Now you're
Scyther more
speaking.
than Scissor.
You're speaking weird.
Like I understand how useful Scissor can be, but I'm just not like a big. I don't like that his cool like talons turned into little pincer crab claws. Like I wasn't a fan of that.
Okay, so can I tell you why I love Scizor so much? This is my experience with Scizor. I'm watching Pokemon Advanced Battles. Okay, never seen Scizor before. This is back. Okay, so what
He's
you need?
got pretty cool design. I just
Yeah,
like
yeah.
Scyther more.
Okay. So what you need to understand is I was always super behind. So I didn't even know about Pokemon until it was already on Gen 3.
That
Okay?
just looks like Deoxys. Or maybe Deoxys looks like Scissor.
Okay? So I don't know much about Pokemon. Okay? Gen 3 is already underway. Okay? My buddy, I'm super poor at the time, so I have no access to play anything Pokemon, watch anything Pokemon, anything, right? My buddy gives me, like, he gets a Game Boy SP. Gives me his Game Boy Color and Pokemon Blue. I get obsessed instantly. I'm like, this is the best thing that's ever been invented in the history of everything.
I played
Okay?
a lot of Pokemon as a kid.
So,
I love Steelix more than Scizor. I'm with Sam on this one. I rarely agree with Sam.
so I'm
Sorry, Sam.
I'm chilling, and I'm playing Pokemon. I get obsessed with it. I find out that my grandma just got 3 months of free cable, and it just turns out that it's the new season of Pokemon Advanced Battles. Every day at 4:30, I get off the bus at 4 o'clock. I'd run in the house, I'd turn it on, and I'd watch the new episodes every week, right? It was the most obsessed you can get with Pokemon because you're new to it. So you're like, I love everything about it, everything's fantastic,
I was made
okay?
with the Indigo League.
I'm watching an episode. I've never seen Scizor before because it's not in Pokemon Blue, and I've never seen any of the other shows or anything. So I've never seen a Scizor. And this is the Advanced Battles graphics where everything is way more crisp than the Johto League and all that stuff, right?
Orange Islands is where I left off on the show.
Okay, so Advanced Battles has super good graphics, and the episode starts where they walk into a city. It's like the biggest city in the third generation, and they're walking down the thing, and people start screaming, and there's a Scizor that lives in the city that's like angry at humans, so it like terrorizes the city kinda, but it's so fast
Yeah.
because it's jumping, it's using its wings, and it's using the wind and the skyscrapers to like be faster than normal. So everybody was like, this fast Scizor is the fastest Scizor ever.
It used agility.
Yeah, but it's using the wind and stuff in between the buildings to go faster and shit. And then it gets into this predicament where it looks like it's totally screwed, and then it uses Hyper Beam out of both claws.
Okay.
It uses double Hyper Beam out of both claws, and then jumps over the building like Superman. And in that moment, I was like, that's in my top 6 favorite Pokemon. It's super cool looking. It was badass. It was smart. And the fact that I've never seen a Pokemon use Hyper Beam other than out of its mouth. So to use Hyper Beam out of its claws like this is sick.
Unfortunately, Hyper Beam's like one of the least useful moves
In the game.
in Gen 2 onwards. Gen 1, it was a fantastic, because if you killed a Pokemon with Hyper Beam, you didn't have to recharge. That's one of the reasons why Tauros was so strong.
More controversial opinion, but Typhlosion is one of the bottom tier fire starter Pokemon? Come on, bro.
I think I'd put it mid-tier. Because Charizard, you know, that's a hard design to beat. Just straight up.
I never said Typhlosion was the best.
Yeah.
I said it's my favorite.
And then people don't like Infernape, but I like the Monkey King. You know, it's the Asian anime. Monkey King's acceptable. I would put it above Blaziken. I don't like Blaziken at all.
Okay, this is my tier list of fire starters. Okay? It goes like this. Charizard's number 1.
Yeah.
We're just talking design. Just design. Charizard's number 1. Okay? Then Typhlosion. And then I would say Infernape, Incineroar, Blaziken.
I was about to say Incineroar's a starter, right? Because I don't like Incineroar's design at all. I don't like his tiny little legs.
No, Blaziken as the first fire fighting type, awesome.
That's
Okay.
the only problem I have with Infernape is that he's a firefighting. I'm like,
Right
get the
after
fuck-
Blaziken.
Get the fuck off the firefight. And then, oh no, Incineroar's dark, huh? Fire
Huh?
dark.
Yeah.
Okay. But he learns a lot of fighting stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Blaziken sucks. I just don't like Blaziken's design of the chicken man.
I think he's great as a Pokemon, but design-wise,
His stats
just
and stuff are fine.
design-wise, he's mid. Okay, let's talk about fire starters. Let's talk about starters, dude. Okay? I've got it.
To me, like, Charizard's almost unfair the way he's designed because it's a fucking dragon. He never gets the dragon tag, but he's more of a dragon than fucking Dragonite was.
Okay, so I asked ChatGPT to. Are you ready?
Fire Ghost.
Here's where I go. Okay. So I asked ChatGPT.
Jer says time, too. I think that's on the card opening.
Oh, okay. We'll do it right after this. So I asked ChatGPT what it could analyze Pokemon based on, because, you know, so then it gave me a list.
How woke they are.
Okay, so they said they could base Pokemon on base stats, type matchup, move pool, agilities, hidden powers, nature, and EV training. Okay? So then I said, give each one of those factors a ranking from 1 to 10 for each Pokemon of the starters. Their
Okay.
final evolved form.
Yeah.
Of the starters through generations, right? So, and then I asked it to put it in a format of 0 to 70.
I don't respect an AI's opinion on, like, style, though.
Well, this isn't style. This is
Okay.
based on
Just, like,
base stats, type matchup, abilities, move sets,
Okay.
what the things I just said. Okay, so each Pokemon got a ranking 0 out of 10 on each thing. So you get a ranking of 0 out of 10 on base stats, 0 out of 10 on move set.
I forgot about Delphox, Jared. Delphox fucking blows. You're right.
Oh yeah, Delphox is trash.
Like, that's so forgettable. I completely forgot about Delphox. And Skeledirge is pretty cool.
Yeah, it's cool.
I just don't agree with Blaziken in your list, Sam.
Okay.
Decent.
So it gives each Pokemon a ranking. So on base stats, you get a ranking 1 to 10. On move sets, you get a ranking 1 to 10. And then I had it put it all together out of the 7 factors on a ranking from 0 to 70. Okay? So these, out of the starter Pokemon, these are the rankings from 0 to 70 on those 7 factors. Charizard's number 1 with 47.
Okay.
Blaziken tied with Charizard for 47. This has nothing to do with design. Okay?
Yeah. I have
Number
hard time
4 is
believing
Venusaur.
Charizard being on the top, honestly. 'Cause he's hard to, like, actually fit on a team. You gotta, like, build a team around him.
Okay.
Venusaur, I figured, would actually be pretty high up there.
So
He's, like, a
Venusaur is
useful,
44.
like, tank and stuff.
So here's, it just gave me the list of the final starter Pokemon and then their score.
Swampert, just because he's
Swampert is
water
46, so he's 1 behind
ground.
Charizard.
Yeah, water ground's just a super valuable
Okay.
type.
So here's ChatGPT based on those 7 factors. The first 5 generations of Pokemon, who would be the best battle partners? Blastoise and Charizard are tied for number 1. Swampert, Blaziken, Infernape, and Empoleon tied for number 2. Venusaur and Chestnut tied for number 3. Number 4 is Delphox, 5 Greninja, 6 Decidueye, 7 Typhlosion for Alligator, Meganium, Sceptile, Emboar, and Torterra.
Yeah.
8 Superior and Samurott, and then 9 is Primeria. I don't even know who the fuck that
Oh,
is.
that's like the water, like, otter thing. Or seal thing. I got to pee.
Okay. And then we will open some
What's in the box? What's in the box?
Crown Zenith. I am looking for the Entei.
He's looking for hentai. I heard.
I'm looking for Entei. So this is the box. It's very collector. The little figurine. Okay, we will open box. What's this say? Hi, bro. Yeah, I did get the golden S ball out of Scarlet. out of the Scarlet and Violet set. This is the Crown Zenith set. Okay. Open the boxy poo here. Okay. Alright, so it comes with this little figurine. This is Zacian. Put it right here. It'll be part of the studio now forever.
Zacian crown.
Okay, it also
Sword.
comes with this little pin. This is a collector's item.
Those aren't cards.
And then this is the promo card that comes with it.
It's fucking shiny. The Zacian.
Mm-hmm. I think you can see it. Let's turn
Yeah,
this
it's hard,
like this.
it's hard to see it. It's a little bit better. I think it's just the holographic's hard to pick up on the camera. Because it doesn't know what to focus on. You can tell it's Zacian though.
Okay, so we'll set that right there.
Sam says he got the Mewtwo.
Mm-hmm. Alright. And then we got our packs here. Those set them there. Alright. Upside down.
Upside down. Girl, you turn me
Alright.
inside
So
out.
we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 packs.
Holy
We have 11
shit.
chances to get the Entei. What are we taking? Give me a number. Open
Yeah.
pack 9.
Give Josh his
1,
hentai.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9.
It's art, okay?
Okay. Let's put the code card. And we got. Wait, so this one does the trick. Okay. Order the front. So we got trekking shoes. Well, you guys aren't going to be able to see them. You'll be able to see the pools if I get them. So I'll just say them. We got trekking shoes. Energy switch. Tang. Energy. Purloin. Rubbin. Skrelp. Helioptile. Wooloo. Oh, character rare Fampy. Let's go. And a Mewtwo.
Hey.
Double pack. Okay, so we got the character rare Fampy. Manaphy. Not Fampy.
Yeah,
We
man.
were talking about Manaphy.
Yeah.
And then holographic Mewtwo. Let's go.
Nice. The Mewtwo.
Okay, so we'll put the hits right there.
Still the best legendary. Fuck all you Rayquaza, Zacian nerds.
Dude, come on, man. Zapdos is the best. All right, now what number?
He's the best bird.
Number 3? Open 3 next? No. I'm going with Hannah.
Well,
1.
4
2.
and then 3.
I'm doing Hannah first, dude. Jared
Okay.
Jared did the picks the other night by himself.
Yeah, fuck you, Jared.
All right. Pull this. Open. All right. So then 4 to the front. 1, 2, 3, 4.
You turn me inside out, round, round.
All right. So we
You
got
knocked
electric
over the
energy,
Prince of all Saiyans.
electric, rescue carrier, giraffe rig, Larvesta, Tangela, Baltoy, Galarian Meowth, Whalmer. Ooh, character rare, Hisuian Voltor.
Ooh.
And then a holographic trainer card. I will post pics on the Discord of the hits. Jared, go ahead and drop the Discord in the chat, dude. I'm going to put the pictures of the hits in the Discord later. Okay, so Jared said 4. 1, 2, 3, 4.
No, but then he said he has no luck for you. So you just cursed yourself.
Nah, he's just being a baby.
No, he took the luck away. There's not even going to be a holographic in this.
Maybe. It's possible. Oh, shit. There's a wind tunnel there. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4 to the front. Psychic energy. Lost vacuum. Later on. Friends and Sinnoh.
Told you.
Emolga.
He took all
Young
the good luck.
Goose. Cherubi. Execute. Rockruff. Roof. Reverse Hollow. Energy Search. And a holographic trainer card.
Good job, Jer. That was all on you, just so you're aware.
Yeah, Jer, what the fuck, man?
I'll hit you with some more mod loves to counteract the mean stuff. You bitch. He did tell you not to do it. But you had already cursed it. It was cursed at that point. You changed the shiny Entei into a holographic trainer card.
Pack Uno.
Like before our eyes, it transformed.
All right. 1, 2, 3, 4 to the front. Grass Energy. Ultra Ball.
Yes.
Electric Kick.
Ooh.
Lost Vacuum. Pokeball. Corfish. Oddish. Seal. Cricketot. Reverse Hollow Sunskern. Non-Hollow Zero Aura. Dump Pack.
Poor Corefish. Could never be Kingler.
Neil, you pick the next pack, say one.
Uh,
So we've got
give me number 3.
number 3. Come on, dude. Where the fuck's the Entei at, dude?
That's not my name, Jer. I'm not
That's
going to
not
tell
my
you how
name.
to spell it either.
1, 2, 3, 4. Carnivine. Friends in Hishui. Shaman. Dark Energy. Cherubi. Execute. Rockruff. Purloin. Love Disc. Reverse Hollow Salandit. Non-Hollow Yon Mega. 2 duds in a row.
That's why I don't play the lottery.
Sam said pack 2.
What do you know, Sam? You don't know what pack.
You don't know pack, dude?
See, if I argue against it, it'll work. It's like reverse psychology.
All right, after this one, there are 5 left. One, 2, 3. And a V-Star card. 4.
He lost his V card.
That's right here, found it. Rescue Carrier, Electric, Luxio, Bidoof,
Badoo!
Coffin, Salandit, Purloin, Grubbin. Oh, shit! Reggie Gigas V-Star!
Ooh. Ooh, Reggie Gigas. Reggie Gigas. Actually, he doesn't even say his name, huh? He just... whatever sound he makes.
Reggie Gigas V-Star, let's go!
That's all art, bro.
That's an alt art? Oh, shit, for real? The one where he's coming out of like a portal with like trees and shit?
He's opening it crazy. Old Sparky.
It's been 10 minutes, open it? I'm opening it, man. I'm opening it. All right, we got 5 left. We just pulled the Reggie Gigas. We have 5 opportunities for the hentai. Okay?
I don't want to see that. That's like 4 different categories.
Yes, Queen Slay.
Yes.
All right, what else? Sparky, pick a number 1 through 5. Let's go.
Pick a card, any card.
That is the old art. Oh shit, for real?
Here comes the money. Money, 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 money,
Check
money,
that out,
money, money. Yes.
5. Okay, last pack. You like the texture on the card?
Neat.
Okay, this is from the Crazy Sparky. He chose pack 5.
As far as they come,
Will-
the backs never change.
Will it be the hentai and tie? 1, 2, 3, 4. This is the pack of the Crazy Sparky. The pack of the Crazy Sparky. Ultra Ball. Digging Duo. Bisharp. Metal Energy. Snow Runt. Rockruff.
Another one.
Tangla. Ball Toy. Shinx. Reverse Hollow Leon. Oh, shit.
Is it the anti?
Nope. But it's a Pokemon that everybody here loves. Charizard!
Okay, that's a
We
good one.
pulled a Charizard!
It's a solid one. He's too cool, though. That's the problem with Charizard. He's too edgy.
It's too edgy, bro.
That's a good pull, though.
Charizard, the Crazy Sparky pulled the Charizard!
Good pull, Sparky.
Alright, we got 4 left. Could the Entei be in here? My guess is because we pulled the Regigigas, no.
You never know. I remember being a kid, and my brother getting a shiny Alakazam and Mewtwo.
Alright, Neil, pick one. 1 through 4.
2.
2? There's 3 left, guys. Have a number in the chat. 1 through 3 for me.
No.
It smells silly string.
Smelling hentai.
Yeah.
They often say that
1,
hentai
2,
smell like
3,
silly string.
4. Rare candy.
Yes!
A Pincherin.
I don't
Another Pincherin.
don't even know
The
what
exact
that
same
is.
card back to back. Water. Shinx.
I know that one.
Corfish.
Fuck it, it's like third fish.
Honored. Seal. Rockruff. Reverse Hollow Switch.
That is your third Rockruff.
And then non-hollow Heliodisc.
You need to stop asking me to pick them. I think that's the second one in a row that didn't have a hollow.
In the Pokedex, is
That's good.
Typhlosion before? Which one's first? Cyndaquil, Totodile, Chikorita.
I think it usually grows grass, water, fire.
So then Cyndaquil would be the third.
I think so.
Third it is. Third pack. This is the Cyndaquil pack, chat. Cyndaquil pack.
I'm gonna check that now that you say that.
For the last pack, I request you make a sound you think the Pokemon make.
Okay, it goes grass, fire, water.
Oh no. I'm opening the Totodile pack.
Sorry, Totodile's better anyway.
1, 2, 3,
For
4.
alligators, my boy.
A Girafarig.
The sound
Rescue
Pokemon
Carrier.
make.
Electric.
Oh, it's just saying their name.
Galarian Meowth. Energy Retrieval. Shinx. Larvesta. Ponard. Reverse Hollow Leopard. And then a Leafeon V.
Okay. Leafeon's pretty dope. It's one of my favorite of the Eevee forms. Umbreon's all-time goat.
Yeah, you can't beat Umbreon. It's hard.
Even though it's like one of the more simple designs. It's just black.
But what it represents.
It was one of the only dark Pokemon in that generation. And it was a beast.
Okay. So technically, this would have been the Cyndaquil pack. This would have been it.
Okay. This is the anti-pack.
This is. Come on.
Will it into existence, chat?
Come on, dude. Can we get some fucking Entei's in the chat?
Give Josh your energy for the Spirit Bomb.
Spirit Bomb. Hit me with a Care Bear stare, baby. I want to get Care Bear stared out here.
You would like Espeon,
three,
Sam.
4. Okay.
Sneasel sucked though. Sneasel was cool, but he sucks. He's an ice type. Ice sock.
Electric, Ultra Ball, Crushing Hammer, V-Star card, Starly, Scyther,
Murkrow is even worse.
Emolga, Young Goose, Cherubi, Reverse Hollow Chatot, and a non-hollow Enamorous.
Murkrow is so bad they had to add a Honchkrow just to try to make him viable. And even Honchkrow sucks. I think his first
Alright,
gen
guys.
is alright.
Last pack Magic. The last pack of Crown Zenith. My last opportunity for the Magic Entei.
Cross them fingers.
Okay. We can pray and we can play. 4 to the front. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Jer says he got it.
Got what?
Entei.
Oh, he opened one?
Yeah. Entei. I got it, Josh.
Nice.
Good shit, Jer.
Graveler. That's new. We haven't had a Graveler yet. A Bisharp. Oh, hold on. I got to do it again. Graveler.
Do the
Bisharp. Shoo. Rescue Carrier. I don't know. Grass Energy. Purloin.
I hate Mondays.
Grubbin.
Damn.
Skrelp. Skrelp.
That's crap.
Helioptile. Woodoo. Reverse Hollow Great Ball.
Great ball.
Non-holographic Heliolisk.
Heliolisk. He meant the lurk.
Oh, okay.
Hentai.
I did not get what I was hoping for, unfortunately. We did get some good pulls, though. So it's not a lost cause.
Or is it? Shot. Everybody!
Okay. And we can just take these.
The beast celebrated with the people go to war. Down in the dance floor.
The last hour was yelling hentai.
Hentai.
It was not the last hour. Are you fucking, like, retarded?
Maybe 15 minutes.
Like, are you dumb or something? The last hour.
What you got against hentai, Sam? It's art.
Yeah, dude, it's art, dude.
You've changed, man. You've changed.
All right.
Not our fault you hate Japanese culture, Sam.
Yeah, dude. And it's also not our fault that you didn't know that the Aztecs made guacamole in the 6th century.
Yeah, you racist.
Piece of shit.
You bigot.
Fucking idiot.
I hate you.
Yeah, dude. Did you know Nintendo bought something called the Super Hornio Brothers because they just wanted to stop the production of it? But technically, because they bought it, that makes it canon. So the Super Hornio Brothers is actually part of the Mario Brothers universe. So there are porn star Super Mario people that are part of the Nintendo canon. Look it up.
I wonder what the oldest Super Mario porno was. I'm Googling it.
Super Hornio Bros, dude.
Was it?
I don't know.
Oldest Super Mario porno. Eric.
Please say Super Hornio Bros.
Super horny.
Yes,
man.
dude!
1993.
Yes, dude! Super Hornio Bros, dude. Nintendo, it was getting so popular that Nintendo decided to buy it and add it to their catalog so they could control whether it was released or not. But because they added it to their catalog, technically it makes it canon. So Super Hornio Bros is Nintendo canon.
Dude, and Ron Jeremy was in it, which was actually like brilliant casting.
You thought I was lying, bro?
I closed my phone.
Dude, that's awesome, and you know it, dude.
I didn't even think about Ron Jeremy, but that's fucking perfect. That's the role he was made to play. He should have been Mario in the new movie.
Dude, talking about a plumber laying pipe, you know what I'm saying, dude? Ron Jeremy in Super Hornio Bros was plumbing, my boy. He was doing it. He was like, bitch with the fucking gabagool, pipe it. You know what I mean? He was making her go, wowzer. I need a pussy like Bowser. You know what I'm saying?
It's just perfect. 1993. That's the year I was born, actually, 1993.
Yeah?
That's appropriate for the little deviant I am.
We're a little deviant, bro. All right, Jared, go ahead, bro. Hit it when you want it, bro. We got 9. Let's do it now.
Yeah, Jerry, you fucking...
Hit it, dude. We
pussy.
talked about the Super Hornio Bros. We opened things. We did not get the Entei.
We got 9?
Yeah.
Damn.
That's what it said when I look at it. She's sliding down his
Yeah.
pipe.
We got 9.
Yeah, boy.
Good shit. Thank you, everybody, for coming to
Thanks, everybody. Appreciate all y'all. Y'all the best.
Thank you.
I'll see you next week.
Who was it, Tensu with the raid? Thank you, Tensu, if you're still here.
Teener.
The Teener.
The Teener. Hit him with the Teener.
The Teener Tots.
Thank you, Hannah. Appreciate you as always.
Good chats, though. Good talking Pokemon and Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
Yeah.
And how he's a prick. And we should all hate him now. I hate you, Dwayne.